In a small mountain village, there once lived a monk known for his unique evening ritual. Every sunset, he would ring an old, cracked bell that hung in the monastery courtyard. The bell's sound was far from harmonious, yet it held a certain charm. One day, a traveler arrived in the village and was intrigued by the bell's peculiar chime. Curious, he approached the monk and asked, "This bell seems broken. Have you ever thought of fixing it?" The monk smiled and replied, "This bell is complete in its own way. Its imperfections are what make it special." The traveler spent days trying to understand the sound of the bell, but he failed. Then one evening he joined the monk again. This time, instead of analyzing the sound, he allowed it to wash over him. Its uneven rhythm brought a strange peace, and for the first time the traveler understood. He thought about his own mistakes, the failures that haunted him, and the flaws he had tried to hide. Finally, he approached the monk and said, "I think I understand now. This bell doesn't need fixing. It is perfect just the way it is." The monk's eyes sparkled with a gentle smile, and he said, "Most things in life are like this bell. What we call broken is often just the way it is. And sometimes, the most beautiful sounds come from those imperfections." The sound wavered, paused, and often clashed with the valley's silence. Yet, people from nearby villages would gather to listen to the bell's chime. One evening, a traveler, intrigued by the crowd and the peculiar resonance of the bell, arrived at the monastery. He watched the monk handle the old, cracked bell with great care and finally couldn't resist asking, "Why do you ring a bell that seems broken? Wouldn't a proper bell work better?" The monk smiled, his face calm and serene. "This bell isn't broken. It simply speaks in its own voice," he replied. The traveler was curious but not convinced. He stayed at the monastery for several days, observing the ritual every evening. Each night, the uneven chime echoed through the valley, and the villagers listened in silent reverence. Yet the traveler still struggled to understand. One morning, he approached an elder from the village who had come to hear the bell. He asked, "Why do you listen to this sound? It's neither smooth nor melodic. What do you find in it?" The elder chuckled softly and replied, "We don't come for the sound itself. We come because it reminds us of life. None of us are flawless, but that doesn't mean we have nothing to offer. The bell rings with all its imperfections, and that is what makes it special. Despite all its cracks, the bell kept ringing, and so can we." The next day, as the traveler descended the mountain, he could still hear the uneven chime of the bell in the distance. But now it no longer sounded like a flaw to him. It was the sound of life itself, beautiful, filled with imperfections, and complete. In life, the idea of perfection is an illusion. It is our cracks, our flaws, and our struggles that create the beautiful melody of a life well lived. Like the bell, we don't need to be perfect to have meaning. We just need to ring and let our voice be heard. This was a motivational story. Thank you for watching and stay blessed. If you like this story, please like and share and subscribe the channel for next video. See you in next video. Stay happy.